Alright, so like 30 plus trades just happened. But to start it off, Lonzo Ball to the Cavs. Amazing fit for the Cavs. Great playmaker. Great guy to have out the bench. Isaac Okoro, a failed experiment in Cleveland. So I'm excited to see where he goes in the Bulls. LeBron opts out his contract, so that means he could get traded if he wants to. Jabari Smith Jr., a 5-year, $122 million deal. I don't think it's a bad deal. Jaren Jackson Jr. re-signs at the Grizzlies for a 5-year, $240 million contract. Ain't gonna lie to y'all, a lot of people saying it's an overpay, when in reality, he took a pay cut. Look, JJJ is the anchor of this team on defense. You need the dude. Dorian Finney-Smith on the Rockets for a $53 million deal. Again, you see the Rockets targeting a lot of role players who could shoot. I think it's pretty clear they're targeting OKC. The only Lakers move this offseason. A $12 million deal for Jake LaRavia. Sounds like a 2K generated player. And I think this is the most shocking trade this whole offseason. D'Angelo Russell on the Mavs for only a 2-year, $13 million deal. The Mavs just got a steal. D'Lo is worth way more than $13 million. If you're D'Lo, you're probably just looking at the Mavs as a great contender anyway. And if you're the Mavs GM, Nico Harrison, I just know you're happy as hell you were able to get him on that cheap contract. And what about this trade? Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected 2032 first-round pick for Cam Johnson on the Nets. Cam Johnson has been on the trade market for about a year by now. He was destined a good trader. So I'm not mad that the Nets got MPJ. I think he's a good fit. I don't think you're losing much of Cam Johnson. And MPJ in a system that he doesn't have as much pressure on him, 100% play better. And the Nets continue to stack on first-round picks. For the Nuggets, this is a great trade. Cam Johnson is more efficient, a better three-point shooter honestly these last 2 years. Amazing move for Denver. And the Grizzlies are going for it all too because they just signed Ty Jerome on a 3-year, $28 million deal. Look, this Grizzlies squad is actually very underrated. Bruce Brown back to the Nuggets. Again, Denver making moves. Kevin Looney's ass is finally out of Golden State to go to the Pelicans on a 2-year, $62 million deal. I like it for New Orleans. I already made a video on them on how they're the best rebuilding team in the NBA. But this just makes them even better, man. Doubling down on bigs. And a good replacement for Missy whenever he's in foul trouble. Luke Cornett to the San Antonio Spurs for a 4-year, $41 million deal. This one breaks my heart as a Celtics fan. Cornett was such a good backup piece. But for the Spurs, I love it. You do need bigs in San Antonio other than Wemby. For Boston, it just keeps looking uglier and uglier by the day. Clint Capella going back to the Rockets. Clint Capella has been on the trade market forever, the last 3 years. Not surprised this happened. It was about time he left Atlanta. And let's look at Houston's bigs. Alfred Sengun, a skilled center. Steven Adams, a tough rebounder. And Clint Capella, an athletic vertical defender. This Houston team is so complete, especially with big man. I'm honestly not going to be surprised if they just dominate the next season by a landslide. Caris LeVert on a 2-year, $29 million contract to the Pistons. I think it's a little bit of an overpay. I don't think LeVert is that good, or his production deserves that. But look, great role player anyway. The Pistons clearly trying to get in those sweepstakes for the finals next year. Brook Lopez leaving Milwaukee and going to the Clippers on a 2-year, $18 million deal. Now look, Brook Lopez is another one of those players who have been on a trade block for 2 years. I'm shocked he survived the 2024 offseason. And I think the Clippers is a good fit for him. It gives them a lot of spacing. Next, the Hawks get Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Also, Atlanta gets Luke Kennard. Shams also says that Trae Young reached out to both of them to sign to the Hawks. Look, Atlanta is going for it all, and I love it. The East is wide open next year. You look at the core they got right now. They just got Kristaps Porzingis. They have Luke Kennard. They have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But this Hawks squad is deep, and they could definitely make a splash next year. Might even say they could make the finals, man. Tyus Jones on a $7 million deal to the Magic. I always thought Jones was super underrated. Yes, he's inefficient, but in terms of that playmaking aspect, it's a thing that every contending team could use. And with Desmond Bane already on the team, this is a great acquisition. Look, the Magic are one of those teams that I also think could make the finals. Hayes Davis, the 2025 EuroLeague champion and finals MVP, to the Phoenix Suns for 1 year. I don't know how good this dude is. Actually, I've never heard of his name before. SGA getting a 4-year, $285 million super maximum contract extension. The CBA about to hit the Thunder like prime Mike Tyson, bro. Why sell it to the Knicks for a 2-year, $12 million contract? I will never forget when this dude dunked on LeBron. And here where the controversy goes. Miles Turner to the Bucks for a $107 million deal. But the Bucks accordingly had to waive Dame to make the deal go through. And Dame is apparently elate, which basically means happy that the Bucks didn't trade him and let him walk in free agency. So shit, at least Dame is happy. And for the Bucks, they're also clearly going for it next year, putting Miles Turner with Giannis. Now look, Chris Haynes on Twitter, a reliable NBA source, says that Giannis isn't happy with the Bucks trading Dame, and I don't blame him. I mean, that was kind of a panic move right there. And when you look at this Bucks roster, I don't think they're making it out the East anyway. Again, Denver making moves. The Sacramento Kings trading Jonas Valanciunas for Dario Saric. I don't think I've ever seen Dario Saric score a point on the Nuggets, so great trade, Denver. Milwaukee re-signing Taurean Prince, Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., and Jericho Sims. So clearly the Bucks are going all in on 3-point shooting and depth. Also, Gary Harris signs with them. Dennis Schroeder on the Kings for a $45 million deal. This man has been on every team in the NBA. And the Raptors get Sancho and Mariskelly, who dropped 37 last season, and they extended Jakob Poeltl. And holy shit, I think I've covered most significant trades, but let me know what y'all think, man. What has been the best offseason move we have seen so far? And until later, I'll see y'all on Mars. Peace. By the way, if y'all been peeping the new DDG beef, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know who signed him on. Name me 5 DDG songs.
You telling me you falling out of love with me? Hope you can find someone to love you better than I did. Taking our memories on love and treating it like nothing. Taking our memories on love and treating it like gossip. It's my love for my grandmother make me gentle when I care for you.